by many individuals. So you may be wondering why I'm here. Well, I'm the queen of pop radio in Springfield, so obviously it only made sense. 90s pop radio, I'll say specifically. I'm Tony from 99.7 The Mix with New Hawk Media. 5 days a week, I do the 90s at noon. So thank you so much for having me. I'll tell you how I got here. I was a radio DJ in the rough streets of Bloomington Normal. Yada, 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 one thing led to the other. And they told me I'm moving in with Bonzi and Kevin O'Day in Springfield. So here I am, and Fresh Princess of Springfield just doesn't have the same ring to it anymore. So recently changed my name, okay? So first, I want to say thank you to the Windham City Center for hosting us at their lovely crib tonight. So let's thank them. Yes, and we would also like to thank Watts Copies Systems for supporting this event, not just this year, but many years. Let's give them a round of applause. We are also very grateful for our corporate table sponsors this evening. So when I call your name, just give a little wave, because you are truly the bomb, and we want to recognize you tonight, okay? Bank of Springfield, LLP, Community Foundation for the Land of Lincoln, Hanson Professional Services, Horace Mann, HSHS St. John Hospital, Illinois Capital Group, KEB, Memorial Health, MJ Kellner Food Service, Security Bank, Big Group, hello, Springfield Clinic, Troxel, and U.S. Bank. We also want to recognize those elected officials who are supporting downtown tonight. They have such an important role in making downtown a priority. Mayor Langfelder, Senator Doris Turner, Representative Tim Butler, City Treasurer Misty Busher, Alderwoman Lakeisha Purchase, Alderman Sean Gregory, Alderman Roy Williams, Alderwoman Kristen DeCenzo, excuse me, Alderman Joe McMahon, and Director Sylvia Garcia. Look so fly. Thank you for being here. I appreciate it. I know DSI appreciates it. And finally, I want to point out there's a silent auction table right over there, and it is all that and a bag of chips. There's a lot of items that you're going to want to bid on and win tonight. And you can take your devices from the future and actually scan the QR code, and it comes right up. There's a text, there's a website. It's very simple, so make sure you go over and check out those platforms. It's a virtual auction that we're doing tonight. Now, I know you guys are hungry. I can tell by the mumbles. I get that. We want to welcome Reverend Mary Sharp of Central Baptist Church to give our invitation for dinner.
Be with you tonight, and I know better than to talk too much when there's chocolate cake sitting in front of you. So I invite you to join me for prayer. Wise and loving God, I offer thanks for all who are gathered here this evening. We thank you for the many blessings to us in the past year and for the promise of your loving presence with us in the year to come. We thank you for life and health, and for the varied resources you give us each day that allow us to work and serve and fulfill our callings, and to live in relationships with our families and friends and those we interact with in many ways throughout this community. Help us to live and work in relationships that are fruitful and work for the common good of all your people. Now we ask that you would bless our time together and the efforts of this evening as we celebrate the good things that we have accomplished and learn of new opportunities to grow and to be blessings to one another. May we enjoy one another as we visit and break bread together around our tables. And we thank you for our loving presence with us and for your boundless and gracious nature.
And Brian Wojcicki. Brian is the DSI board president, and Kendra is the incoming president. So let's bring them up to the podium.
You all obviously can appreciate our downtown. It's a place for fun, occasionally serious conversation. Tonight we're obviously here for one of those two more than the other. But just a quick reminder about our downtown. I'm not sure there are many places that we have in our city where within a little over a square mile there can be hundreds who gather for a parade and another day of protest. We have multiple theaters, art studios, music venues, historic buildings, federal, state, and local. We have white, black, brown owners of retail shops, bars and restaurants, have a gay bar, a couple 3 a.m. bars, and a kids museum. All of that is within walking distance. And the medical district, want to give a shout out to that, it's right next door. So, as everybody knows, downtown's a place for fun, but also for serious work. Tonight, we are here for one of those reasons more than the other, admittedly. So, before I introduce our new president, I did want to take the opportunity to share in a toast to everybody. Whether you live, work, or play in our downtown, we welcome you. Cheers. Yes, sorry about that. So, without further ado, want to introduce our new president of DSI, someone who exemplifies our downtown. A small business startup owner of Custom Cup. Certainly a place I think most can agree that have been there, a spot for a fun conversation, but also serious work. I can personally attest to the fact that while she wears her heart on her sleeve, she is an absolute mama bear when it comes to her family, her friends, and our downtown. And I am happy for her to step up into this new role as our president. Would you join me in welcoming our new president of DSI, Kendra Basin?
Public speaking, so watch out. I'm Kendra Basin, owner of Custom Cup Coffee. Coffee and the 2022 Board President of DSI. I cannot believe this day has come. My husband Brent, who's over there, and I moved to Springfield in 2006. I was super duper pregnant with our first child. Springfield is where my family shares the most memories, all of our memories. It's where we choose to raise our 3 boys. If you see them around town, make sure you let me know. Made incredible friends and started our beloved coffee shop. Custom Cups started right in our very kitchen, on our dining room table, our garage, everywhere. And it was my husband's wonderful idea, which led to a website, a logo, a roaster, a storefront, then to waking up at 3 a.m. to get ready to serve coffee and sell bags of coffee at the old Capitol Farmers Market. One of our first times participating in a DSI program. That's when I knew I had found my second family. Who knew 8 years later, I'd be up here as president? Sometimes it's hard to say no, especially in a quiet room where everyone's just staring at you. In all honesty, I couldn't be more proud to be here in this role. DSI is the core of downtown. They help the neighborhood navigate through challenges. They help build opportunities. They make sure downtown is represented and remembered. And DSI forms meaningful partnerships. Plus, DSI runs award-winning programs that gather the community together. We're talking about 2 staff people, literally 2, that did this, obviously with our volunteers, but they are the ones spearheading everything you see downtown. And as I said, it is hard to say no, so we are always looking for new volunteers. DSI has the best volunteers that quickly turn into family. Let's give a quick round of applause for Assistant Director Pierre Tycho, I messed it up, Tycho, and Executive Director Kayla Graven. Without these 2, DSI wouldn't be able to successfully live out its mission. I'd also like for the 2022 DSI Board of Directors to stand up. These are my fellow peers who volunteer their time and energy to our downtown. Thank you all. Thank you to tonight's sponsors, table sponsors and guests for coming to support DSI. Congrats to the nominees as well. Before I go, there he is. Okay, Brian, we at the board wanted to thank you for your service as DSI board president. You had it pretty easy. I mean, just 2 years of a pandemic, hiring a new DSI executive director and staff members. In all seriousness, you have given so much to DSI, even though I roll my eyes almost every meeting. You help champion a sidewalk ordinance. You make amazing spreadsheets. Navigated through Zoom board meetings, helped advocate for DSI funding, started Ryan's Bunnies program, which is my favorite, and so much more. Thank you for your time and commitment to downtown.
Now it's time for some awards. We're going to do the awards for Best Retail, Best Restaurant, Best Nightlife, Best New Business, and Innovative Concept. But before the awards, I want to know if you checked out the silent auction items. Okay, really easy on your phone. It's all virtual. And I'm going to keep it real. There's some really nice items over there. I would love, let's see, there's Cafe Moxo. I saw Buzz Bomb. There's a lot of items, so please check that out at your leisure. Now the awards nominees for Best Retail Businesses are Daisy James, Whimsy Tea, and Piper and Arrow. This business upped their children's clothing and toys in 2021, quickly becoming the place to shop for kids downtown. Score for everybody. Congratulations to Daisy James. The nominees for Best Restaurant are 6th Street Cafe, Beelzebub's, and Maltinore's. This restaurant has defined fine dining in downtown for decades. In 2021, they rolled through the pivots, helping fundraise dinners easily adapted with the to-go options when needed, and still offering safe dining for customers. I remember going in there and there were some mannequins to help with social distancing. I loved it. Congratulations to Meldiner's Restaurant. And how about you broadcast your show from downtown Springfield? That sounds like fun. I love being out in the community. And so I got to sit in the best seat in the house in Cafe Moxo, right there in the window, watch people watch, and got to see the farmers market. And I did that for months. It was so great, and I got connected with a lot of these business owners. And at the end of my show, every time I was there, I ended it with a downtown Springfield business spotlight, and Chef was one of the great people I got to interview there, along with a few other of you guys in the room. So thank you for that. Best nightlife. Something I've also explored a lot in Springfield. Our downtown has continued to be a favorite for entertainment. Wait till that's quiet. I was trying to think of all my 90s comeback, talk to the hand, face not listening. Someone's not listening.
Well, when I tell my boys to be quiet, I put their fingers on their noses so I know they hear me.
Okay, so for the best nightlife category, this year's nominees are some of the original go-to favorites you can find in Springfield for entertainment. The nominees are Hovland Center for the Arts, Click, Whiskey Jack Sports Bar. This business opened up during the pandemic and has created one of the most popular places to enjoy downtown karaoke. Their parklet is also one of the top places to hang out. So congratulations to Click. storefronts. This year's nominees for Best New Business are Lincoln Plaza Galleries, Beelzebubs, and Starbucks. This business made the leap from the old Capitol Farmers Market to brick and mortar, offering unique flavors and bakery items, including vegan and gluten-free baked goods. Congratulations to Beelzebubs.
Springfield Memorial Foundation has hosted the Festival of Trees for 30 years at the Orr Building. So when the pandemic provided challenges for us to create this big holiday event, we were able to find the partnerships that we needed, not just with the historic sites and DSI, but also the local retailers and restaurants to provide the food and drink. You know, we could put on an amazing holiday event, bring in some wonderful joy and kids' activities, but also help the retailers and those local businesses and maybe even provide a boost to our historic sites. And I mean, I think that ripple effect is a very important thing to Springfield in general, but certainly to our downtown businesses. I can't thank DSI enough for their support not of Memorial Holiday Fest. They really helped us navigate through downtown, helped us find that additional support and build those partnerships. And I think the partnership with DSI, Old Capitol Holiday Walks and Memorial Holiday Fest, it's just gonna get bigger and better, and it's just so exciting to watch it grow. And I would encourage anyone to come downtown because there's this wonderful energy in collaborating. It's just a great community, and I'm glad that we were able to support downtown and that downtown supported us.
I think that DSI's role in arts and culture and entertainment really is to bring voices together and listen. And I think that Levitt is a perfect example. Levitt AMP series reminds me of what Springfield was like to grow up in. I really love the opportunity that gives us to kind of gather together and enjoy music in a social setting, where we can kind of bring our families and mingle. So it's a really good time with the music festivals that go on. So I like taking my kids places so they can, number one, learn how to act in different social settings, and number two, understand what community looks like. So to me, I think it's really important that we have these opportunities and that youth are involved and can come downtown because they will then be the leaders and the adults of this community later. I just hope that through more programming that comes to downtown, more events, that people will really see the Springfield that I love and know, and that I feel very safe in, and that I feel my children are very safe in.
So I started the farmers market in 2021. It wasn't my first market, but it definitely was one of my biggest markets I've had done. So I got into wholesaling because someone approached me at the market and asked me if I would be interested in selling in their boutiques, and I didn't know that was even a thing. Will and Birch and Piper and Arrow, those are my two downtown businesses I currently sell in. That still made me be like, man, I wish I had a store of my own. So I started talking with a couple of girlfriends of mine at a market, and it was just a random thought like, oh, let's all start something together. We're going to open a building on Adams Street. And when I walked into the location, it is exactly where the farmer's market is. And I knew right away, this is where my customers know I'm from. This is where they can find my jewelry. And this is exactly where I want to open up my first store. We're excited to offer a lot more to downtown. We'll have a boutique and workshops and our jewelry, of course, but lots of makers, lots of more local people involved in our store. DSI, I'm on the promotions committee. It's let me get in contact with a lot of more people around the community and just the connections that's brought me. And I know going forward, being in DSI, whenever we actually open our storefront, we'll definitely join. And that way we will be able to have lots of different connections and collaborate with the community around us as well.
The Next 10 project was conceived of prior to COVID-19. And then after some reflection, once that hit our shores, we decided to go forward with this community process of trying to solicit big and new ideas for the future of the Springfield community. I would say of the hundreds of ideas that were submitted, there was no general topic that was commented on more than downtown Springfield. So with that in mind, for the Next 10 report of what do we do about these desires, we decided to put in that report the notion of creating a master plan for the downtown. Right now we have projects that are already on the books, whether it be the Capitol Complex renovations, the Transportation Hub, the UIS Innovation Hub. All of these are exciting things that are already really going on, but the things to come are exciting as well. What do we do with the vacated 3rd Street rail corridor? We still have the North Mansion block that we want to have exciting projects happen on. I think the master plan can bring things together that are already on their way, but really project what we can do more into the future. And it's just exciting to come to work every day in the downtown district. It's the only place I can think of in our community where you can walk to multiple appointments or decide, hey, where am I going to go to lunch today, and just take a walk to dozens of places. That's a lot of fun to be down here. There's a vibrancy here that's hard to replicate in other places in and around Springfield. So we've always felt it's important to be downtown, but it's also fun to be downtown. DSI, to me, is the greatest connector and convener of people that care about the downtown. It's the organization we all look to all the time for what's going on downtown, to find information, but also to help navigate how to get things done downtown, to bring new and exciting initiatives to the downtown. DSI is the place to be.
Wow, every year I watch the DSI DSI video. I am so proud of the work we accomplished here at DSI. Good evening, I'm Kayla Graven, the Executive Director for DSI. So, I'm not necessarily new here, but I am new to this position. I've been here for about 4 years now. Taking on this huge role in our community has truly been a privilege, and I am thrilled to be able to continue to carry out DSI's mission, dedicated to creating and supporting a vibrant neighborhood through collaboration, creativity, and leadership. In 2021, DSI and its partners and committee members helped progress our downtown forward, making sure it set our members up for success. We hosted an upstairs downtown training for our property owners to learn how to develop income-generating apartments. We brought back Love It Amp concert series after its pause due to COVID. We explored how an arts, culture, entertainment district could thrive in downtown. We advocated for American Rescue Funds to be allocated in downtown. We partnered with the ALPLM to utilize Union Station for the indoor market. In true DSI fashion, we found a unique way to activate a space. I do want to point out I put party with the ALPLM. It makes sense. The farmers market was a hit there. We made downtown the place for the holiday walks. The celebration and collaborations with the partners that brought the community together was exactly what we needed. We hired a new assistant director, Piero Tycho, who dived right in and is rocking it. The list goes on. 2021 was clearly the year we set ourselves up for success in the future. While at this dinner we do reflect on the previous year's accomplishments, it's also important to look towards the future. As we kick off 2022, I'm excited for the Downtown Medical Master Plan, offering trainings for our members and their staff. Make sure to invite them. The return of momentum on Main Street trainings and networking for entrepreneurs, developers, and investors. A new food donation at the farmers market. Isringhausen's business grant collaboration. A public restroom. New businesses openings, continued North Mansion block activation, First Fridays, and much more to come. A quick plug for our newsletters so you don't have downtown FOMO. Sign up. Before I pass it over for our surprise announcement, I want to leave you with this. As we move through 2022, we need your support more than ever, whether that be your time serving as a committee role or a 20-minute volunteer shift at the farmers market. Any amount of your time truly makes an impact here. We also need your continued financial support through sponsorships, memberships, event tickets, and silent auction bids. Get on your phones. Thank you to Watts for sponsoring this evening. Thank you to the Wyndham for hosting us, the corporate sponsors, table sponsors, and to everyone in attendance tonight. Thank you to the DSI Board of Directors, staff, and the DSI volunteers. We can't wait to host you in the heart of Springfield this summer. Without further ado, a special announcement about Love It Amp 2022.
PNC is proud to once again present the Love It Amp Springfield Music Series. Since 2019, PNC has supported these free concerts because we understand the value of bringing art and culture to our community. The diversity of talent, the wide range of music genres, and the multi-generations who attend align with how PNC has approached inclusion when it comes to diversity. Creating an opportunity for all to share. We look forward to all the local collaboration it takes to make this concert series amazing each year. With that, I'm proud to kick off the third season of Love It Amp Springfield with a band that brings a soulful and infectious sound, crafted around classic organ grooves and rooted in the tradition of great Hammond B3 organists. Come join us on the Y Block on June 2nd for the Soul Message Band.
Pop songs with a twist, a little overdriven, maybe too honest, performed like ragged rock tunes that careen a little too close to the edge. That's Aaron Lee Tajin, whom we welcome on June 9th.
Get up and dance to a reggae night steeped in Afro pop and cast in a lush bounce. PNC welcomes a singer from the Ivory Coast, Natu Camara, as the headlining performer on June 16th.
Rolling Stone magazine says Davina creates her own Americana mishmash, a little Amy Winehouse-worthy neo-soul here, a little Great American Songbook-influenced songcraft there. PNC is ready to swing with Davina and the Vagabonds on June 23rd.
Smooth strings and Caribbean beats and a sound that inspires visions of Old Havana at sunset. PNC welcomes Charanga Topical on June 30th, plus JC Fireworks sponsored by Pole Barn Chic.
On July 7th, PNC welcomes Terrence Simeon and the Zydeco Experience. For 40 years, this two-time Grammy award-winning frontman and eighth-generation Louisiana Creole has been shattering the myths about what his indigenous roots music is and is not.
This Joliet native, a top-tier vocalist and drummer, is a Chicago Blues Hall of Famer and a force to behold on and off the stage. Whether it is blues, gospel, or R&B, we welcome Cheryl Youngblood with her blues band on July 21st.
This gifted country singer-songwriter from Cincinnati is the very last artist that late John Prine signed to his record label. Our headliner's 2020 album is named Die Midwestern. PNC welcomes Arlo McKinley on July 28th.
A young trio originally brought together by Eli Paperboy Reed in New York City with dazzling vocal arrangements drawing deeply on the gospel quartet tradition of the 50s and 60s, but revitalizing them for the present day. PNC Bank welcomes the Harlem Gospel Travelers to close out the 2022 series on August 4th.
Who's excited for the 2022 Levitt Amp Festival? Oh yeah, that is a great lineup. That was one of my favorite things to do last summer. So I'm really excited that it's back. Here we are for the next set of awards: Best Events, Best Interior Renovation, Best Creative Promotion, and Best New Facade. For Best Events, downtown is fortunate to have so many activities offered to the public throughout the year. Some of the events are old classics and others are starting to become new traditions. The nominees for Best Events are Route 66 Mother Road Festival, Blues and Barbecue, Memorial Holiday Fest. Events in 2021 were full of pivots and adapting moment by moment. And this group decided to pivot a long-standing tradition and move downtown, lending the way for one of the biggest holiday celebrations in downtown in quite some time. This group helped spearhead the holiday cheer that was much needed in 2021. Congratulations to Memorial Holiday Fest. In the house. Congratulations. Next award is for creative promotion. Downtown entrepreneurs can teach us a thing or two about promotions. In fact, DSI might work on setting up a master class featuring this year's nominees for creative promotion. Sangamon CEO LSR Ice Rink, first nominee. The Next 10 Community Foundation for the Land of Lincoln. And Illinois Product Holiday Market with the Illinois Department of Agriculture. culture. This group made the big move to downtown in 2021. Promoting a change to an already established event is not easy. But as if these creative students did it with enthusiasm and much success. Congratulations to Sangamon CEO LRS Ice Rink. Don't stress and miss this award, okay? First nominee, Truth Lounge. Gwinnett Development, LLC, Adams Place. And Illinois State Museum, The Shop. Stepping into this interior renovation is like walking into a big city office space. This developer made sure to complement the existing interior while adding a touch of modern flair. When you walk through, you are sure to have office envy, and this place is seriously slamming. Congratulations to Gwinnett Development, LLC, Adams Place.
Those of you that dress in 90s attire, if you'd please stand up and be recognized. Unfortunately, I didn't fit into my 90s attire. I really want to recognize two individuals, two of my directors. One is Scott Dahl, Mr. Hospitality at Springfield. And LaShonda Fitch, who puts life in Oak Ridge Cemetery like no other person. So we appreciate everybody's enthusiasm, and really I could sum up the state of downtown in just one sentence. Look at this turnout. It's phenomenal. Thank you very much. But unfortunately that's not the end of my speech. So I do need about 8 minutes of your time because it is important that we recognize the journey that we've been on and the direction that we're going, and that's what's important. But it wouldn't be possible for everybody in this room and those beyond these walls, because with any community, it's all about the people. So I want to just say, we're back! Thank you to this evening's sponsors, DSI's passionate and spirited leader, Kayla at Graven, Kiara, the board of directors, residents, volunteers, and of course, all the businesses that make downtown Springfield the heart of our community. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the city, elected, and all other elected officials, especially during this time. It's been a struggle for all of us, and the important thing is keeping everybody together, not polarizing, pulling people together. So I'd ask for all elected officials, please stand and be recognized again at the Whip Days. I'd also like the city directors and staff in attendance, please stand. I want them to, everybody should look, all the workers of the city of Springfield. Just like Scott and LaShonda, we're here to serve you. Of course, LaShonda's will be a lot later, right? But, you know, really it's about serving the public. It goes back to Abraham Lincoln, government of the people, by the people, for the people, and that's what we strive for each and every day. So we're here to work with you and work through the items so to make our downtown and our community better. So I'd also like to give a special shout out. I'm not going to do a lot, otherwise the speech goes on and on. But a new resident during the pandemic, she's done phenomenal work coming to Springfield, really engaging the public in many different factors. And that's Christina Shutt, the Executive Director of the Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library Museum. Thank you and welcome to Springfield. You raised us to a new level. And then also one shout out, special shout out for what he does for our young people, and that's Nabi with Sangman CEO. You've done a phenomenal job year after year. Thank you for all you do. And I probably would be remiss, of course, people would let me know. She wouldn't let me know because she doesn't like to be recognized, but I need to do that. My wife, Billy, of 32 years, who shows me love and support through thick and thin. Thank you very much. But I appreciate all of you in attendance tonight, showing your support for downtown and our city's downtown, or DSI, I'm sorry, Downtown Springfield Inc., and our city's downtown. Tonight we celebrate our neighborhood and the people who make it special. We have all been challenged the past 2 years. Personally, I'm glad 2020 and 2021 are over and in the rearview mirror. But that time has made us all realize what is important in life, and that is people in our lives. At this time, I would like to recognize a special group of people that continue to be the economic backbone of our community before, during, and after the pandemic, and that's our business owners. If you please stand up and be recognized, we truly appreciate your investment and what you've gone through. Thank you for all you do. I'd also like to recognize another special group of people who helped get our city to the point where we could be in person together again. We know COVID-19 pandemic was a stressful time for each one of us, but it was our medical district located in the far north corner of downtown that taught us the importance of our healthcare frontline workers, the significance of having access to medical care, and the magnitude of having Memorial Health, HSHS St. John's, SIU Medicine, and Springfield Clinic in the heart of our city. We appreciate all your efforts and all the efforts of Sangamon County Department of Public Health. Thank you for what you did to keep our community safe and healthier. Speaking of 2020, so is hindsight. As we emerge post-pandemic, there are things each one of us can look back on and say we would have handled it differently and possibly improved the outcome. However, we cannot go back and change the beginning, but we can start where we are and change the ending. With societal changes, we have all learned to adapt. Downtown is successfully evolving post-pandemic with great endings on the horizon. Abraham Lincoln said, the best way to predict the future is to create it. That is what we need to do and remember about downtown. We all will and create the future by working and pulling together. Fortunately, being a capital city, the state is one of our largest economic drivers, only rivaled by our successful and nationally recognized medical community. Today, Governor Pritzker announced that the historic Armory will be undergoing a $122 million upgrade renovation, creating more than 600 office jobs back to downtown. This complements the $200 million investment in the Capitol complex, which together will strengthen and reshape downtown. Massey & Massey landscape design architects are working with the Capitol complex and have been retained by the city to create complementary beautification and lighting design work along our road corridors, including the Y block. Everybody's favorite block, right? The city also applied for State of Illinois Main Street grant funds for Phase 1 development of the Y Block. This will build on the success of the Levitt Concert Series with added water features and other amenities. In addition, on April 19th, the City Council will vote on the purchase of 100 new planters and 100 new trees around downtown. And really, I must say, I'm going to go off script real quick because it's all about where we go. You know, you can plot out things and plan, but there's certain things that steer us a new direction. And with enthusiasm, you really can have an impact across the globe. And I'd like to recognize Barb Mullaney. Barb pulled together Rotarians and what's happening in Ukraine. And really, we're going to put up banners to recognize that, but the importance of respecting one another and showing support for Ukraine. So, Barb, we really thank you for all you've done through the years, and especially creating that public awareness and advocacy. And the reason I mention that is on the Y Block, we are going to plant sunflowers because that's the national flower of the Ukraine. So you walk by there and see that, that's what we intend to do. In the coming months, Public Works will begin the one-way to two-way traffic conversion along the 4th Street corridor, finally. This will not be the only transformation along the 4th Street corridor. The demolition of the structurally unsound smiley face ramp has begun. That's another finally. And the possible future home of UIS Innovate Springfield may be along this corridor that connects up to the $30 million state-of-the-art YMCA. And thanks to Ed Curtis and Memorial Health, we really appreciate you making that happen. Along with the Park neighborhood and the medical district. Also underway is DSI's efforts to complete a downtown medical district master plan in partnership with the Community Foundation for the Land of Lincoln, the Sangamon County Growth Alliance, and the city. This plan will help identify future development. One of the most visible changes that transformed out of the pandemic was a 2014 concept created by and pioneered by Malner chef, owner, entrepreneurial Michael Higgins. Michael renovated back in the day, just 2014, 2 parking spaces into an outdoor dining parklet. Later, his concept was expanded by Public Works and DSI and we provided more than $80,000 in funding by the city of Springfield. 9 new small business parklets were created, changing the feel and look of downtown. Residents and visitors alike have celebrated and enjoyed these new outdoor dining options. That is when Floyd's decided to take this love of the open air experience and move it to the next level. Late last year, the City Council approved $520,000 in funding to Floyd's to build the first downtown rooftop beer garden. So thank you for making that important step forward. Another project moving full steam ahead and nearing the end of the line is the Springfield Rail Improvements Project. By 2025, all passenger and freight trains will be transitioned from 3rd Street tracks to the 10th Street tracks. The work on Adams and 11th Street continues to progress as a site for the new Springfield Sangamon Hub Transportation Center. Many did not understand my strong desire to move the Salvation Army from its previously purchased location at 9th and Jefferson and transition it to the former Gold's Gym on Clear Lake. This relocation allowed the Hub Center project to proceed and allowed Forest Band the ability to expand to the east. This action was fundamental to make these projects a reality and strengthens downtown long-term. While the city oversees the rail improvements efforts, we thank Sangamon County for championing the Springfield-Sangamon Transportation Center. And as sad as we were to see the SJR move out of their iconic One Copley Plaza, we thank Sangamon County Board in approving the purchase of this building for additional office space for the county. During the Carpenter Street rail construction, foundations of burned structures from the 1908 race riot sites were uncovered. Just last week, the city welcomed the National Park Service Director, Chuck Sands, to Springfield as he learned more about the 1908 race riot sites. Thanks to the effort of Senator Tammy Duckworth, the National Park Service is beginning a special resource study to evaluate the potential for inclusion of the site into the National Park System under the potential oversight of the Lincoln Home area, because it's extremely important to understand and connect our history to all the world. Well, a lot of people realize as we have Abraham Lincoln, the great emancipator, and in most recent history, President Barack Obama made his presidential announcement at the old state capitol because Lincoln's words live as true today as they did back then. A house divided amongst itself cannot stand. Then he came back and introduced Joe Biden as his vice president candidate because they recognized the importance of pulling people together. But the arc in the middle that individuals don't recognize, and it needs to be recognized, is the 1908 race riot sites, because that's really what transformed our community, shows how Springfield grows from the tragedies at times, but pulls stronger together, and it's an important piece of not only our history, but throughout our country and throughout our world. Another project the community is excited to see evolve is the next visionary development by Karen and Court Kahn. The Kahns purchased Vinegar Hill Mall, the Bowers Building, and DeWitt Wycliffe Smith Mansion located on Cook Street between 2nd and Spring Street. Just saying that makes me tired. We're thankful for their commitment to restoring this remarkable space while addressing the needs of our small business community and startups. The city fully supports their efforts in developing a downtown commercial kitchen incubator to help budding food entrepreneurs, along with developing hospitality training services for our future workforce. And Scott is very excited about that, right? I'm also happy to share that city departments are moving forward post-pandemic towards the future. CWLP is currently assessing locations for electric vehicle charging stations downtown and throughout our city. And as you know, we have our own utility, and that's one of the benefits. We have the electric infrastructure to make that possible. They are all also working to upgrade our fiber and downtown Wi-Fi signal to expand its service. Our Springfield Convention and Visitors Bureau is initiating its inaugural red carpet rollout, collaborating with community volunteers and our hospitality industry to help spruce up downtown, along with adding new recycling receptacles in anticipation of welcoming visitors and residents to the area this summer. The city also understands that downtown post-pandemic is transitioning many of its buildings to housing developments. Our Office of Planning and Economic Development and Public Works are available to answer your questions and assist you through the development and permitting process. And it's all about putting a name with the face. And one individual, I'll ask him to stand up, is Ravi Doshi. He's with our Office of Planning and Economic Development. And I used to be in banking, and there's banks that go out and get the business, and banks that just wait for the business to come in. We're trying to go out and get the business, help support one another, see what your needs are, so we can really move downtown to the next level that it deserves. I know there are many other projects underway, including facade replacements and remodels, new programming by our downtown sites, and special events being created by our downtown businesses, but there is not enough time for me to cover everything. Downtown Springfield is transforming to meet the needs of all who come to work, live, shop, and play. The state of downtown is steady. The state of downtown is evolving. In this day and age, the state of downtown is definitely exciting. As I said before, we cannot go back and change the beginning of the downtown story, especially during these past 2 years, but we can start where we are and change the ending. Lincoln wisely told us that the best thing about the future is that it comes one day at a time. We, working together, will make a bright future for our downtown and our community each and every day, one day at a time. I'm excited to continue our efforts working together and look forward to what's to come. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Mayor. And they were getting ready to close the silent auction, but I said, wait a minute, because we are $1,000 from our goal. And I believe everyone in this room, we can make that goal, right? So pull out your phones, let's do it. We just heard all the great developments, so a lot of great businesses in Springfield. We need to reach this goal. So I'm gonna have to keep open just a little bit longer. I said, well, I think we can reach this goal tonight, and that is so important. So while we're doing that, I have a question for a prize. Where is this outfit locomotion for the dress? Okay, well, what does this look? What does this look? Not Pretty Woman, but that's a good one. That's close. Any other guesses? Who said that over there? I got some. Yes. Well, if you want to come up here, or I'll give it to you. You know royalty when you see it. Princess Diana's revenge dress. Take that, Charles. I got some ring pops for you. Okay. All right. I'll bring them to you a little later. All right. So for our last award tonight, Best Collaborative Efforts. Best Public-Private Collaborations, Downtown Advocate, and Lifetime Achievement. Oh, and with I have to ask, who's winning that resource one share? Are you guys betting on that? Me. You are, Kayla? Okay, because I need that in my studio. I'm not gonna let Bonzi touch it, okay? It's all mine. So spend that cheddar and support our great businesses, okay? Place those final bids now. So the next award, Best Collaborative Efforts. Collaborations are key to successful businesses in downtown. The nominees for Best Collaborative Efforts are Sangamon CEO LRS Ice Rink, Cafe Moxo Food Giveaways, and Historic Union Station at Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. This group saw an opportunity to repurpose a space that hadn't been utilized by an outside organization for some time. And they opened their doors to an indoor farmers market, and the public immediately fell in love with the concept and space. Congratulations to the awesome Historic Union Station at Abraham Lincoln Presidential Library and Museum. Our next category is public and private partnership. Luckily for Springfield, more organizations are looking to partner on downtown projects every day. The three nominees in the public-private partnership category are the Kidseum and District 186, the City of Springfield Parklet Grant Program, and Levitt Amp. This group has worked hard with the new DSI committee to set a design standard downtown, offering grants to bars, restaurants to invest in outdoor spaces. Downtown now has 9 dope parklets visitors can enjoy throughout the year. Congratulations to the City of Springfield Parklet Grant Program. DSI's Downtown Advocate Award is given to an individual who has all the inside details on what's happening downtown. You're going to want to know who this is because you guys might need him, okay? Also, this person is the first to lend a helping hand when downtown calls. The nominees for 2022 Downtown Advocate are Community Voices, WUIS, Zanetti, and Gordon Davis. Whimsy Teas started at the old Capitol Farmers Market where Gordon started connecting with the community. His love for downtown didn't only help his business progress, but also helped bring and introduce more members of the community to downtown. Gordon is always the first to participate and champion the DSI programs. Congratulations, Gordon Davis, Whimsy, owner of Whimsy Tea. Extreme Award of the night. The Wally Henderson Lifetime Achievement Award is named after the late great architect Wally Henderson, who until his very last moment with us encouraged and motivated everyone around him to work together, to always think big and focus on saving the beautiful downtown.
Again, surprise. Unfortunately, Bryn is very sick this evening, so she couldn't join us, and she is devastated. So let's make her evening a little bit better, and we're gonna do a countdown to tell her, we're gonna have a video, to get better soon, and I'll send it to her tomorrow. Okay, guys? You ready? On 3. 1, or get well soon. That makes more sense. Excuse me. Get well soon. 1, 2, 3. Get well soon! Thank you. I'll turn it over to Cindy.
So she was referring to Bryn Henderson, who is Wally's widow, and she would normally be here tonight presenting this award, but I'm happy to be here. I'm Cindy Davis, and I'm the former board president of DSI. And so this award is for a Lifetime Achievement Award. And it is very important because it would be very important in Wally Henderson's mind. So there's a person in Springfield who's contributed a tremendous amount of time and expertise to downtown Springfield for almost 2 decades. And he did an astonishing amount of behind-the-scenes work for DSI and logos and graphics and other contributions, too numerous to list. He spearheaded the very popular downtown architectural tours of Springfield in the name of DSI. But I first met this gentleman in a town up in northern Illinois when there was a downtown, a Main Street conference up there. And I went to the conference because I was going to be the board president of DSI, and I thought, well, I better learn something about this organization. So I went up to Elgin, and I signed up for a downtown architectural tour. And the gentleman who led the tour had a terrible cold that day, and he was very, very stocked up. And I didn't know him, and I went around with him watching him teach us about architectural history. And I learned a lot up there. I learned that most downtown buildings are 20 feet wide because that was the longest length of a timber. 20 feet was about what a timber would grow to. So that's why you see 20-foot wide and very long structures in downtown. And I thought I was going to be like the star of the show, and I listened very carefully, and then he would ask a question, and I would answer it, and he would say, wrong, why don't you listen to me? And I was like, well, okay. And so anyway, I ended up, going up to him afterwards and saying, that was very interesting. Where do you live? And he said, Springfield. And I was like, what? You are in Springfield and you don't do this in Springfield? So I came back and I suggested to DSI that we do an architectural walking tour. And we called it the Pied Piper Architectural Walking Tour because we never knew where he was going to take us. And we learned all kinds of things for years and years and years. And he spearheaded that, and I appreciate it so very much. That person is Anthony Romano. Absolutely, standing ovation. About ourselves. He says that we involve ourselves into history by how we improve, change, experience, and yes, even destroy our communities. Anthony has helped our downtown and others see just that. And Wally and Anthony had a tremendous friendship and a mutual admiration for their unique talents. And they had an enviable friendship. And Bren and I, and I'm sure Wally, are pleased to present this to him this evening.
Thank you for this award. I won't speak for very long, I promise. I think I've counted the hours of the walking tours, and I've spent close to 200 hours talking about the downtown, and that's been plenty. And I'd like to thank Cindy for telling me that I infected her, apparently, at this walking tour 20 years ago, so we have her to blame for the walking tours themselves. But I have you to thank for this award and whatever dedication and passion that I might have for downtown, I'm happy to share. And I would thank Wally as well if he were here, and Bryn certainly also. But thank you, because you are here, and thank you for that.
I just want to thank you so much for attending DSI's 29th Annual Dinner and Awards. Congratulations. Yes, we can clap for that. Good. Clap for yourselves for being here. anniversary next year. But yes, that's really exciting. But for now,